Hello, Greg Pacheco, Xtreme MInistries. Excited about another message here, and sometimes I just want to talk about kind of what's going on in my own life. Right now, I'm under a lot of trials, so I went to James 1. Trials at work, trials at home. Yeah, and let's read what God says. Trials meaning, for those who aren't familiar with Bible terms, tough times you're going through. You know, you're going through the furnace. Things are tough. You know, in the Proverbs, God talks about how He heats up like silver or gold, right? It gets heated, and the impurities rise to the surface, and it gets scraped off. They heat it up again. Impurities rise to the surface, and it's scraped off. Pretty soon, the goldsmith can be looking at the gold, and after he cleans out the impurities so many times, he starts seeing a reflection of himself. Those impurities, the temperature that's rising is symbolic for the tough times we're going through in our lives. And the impurities he's scraping up, we're to learn. He's getting away the impurities in our lives through the trials. We draw closer to Him in those times, or should be. And, you know, He'll take away the impurities out of our lives. And pretty soon Jesus sees a reflection of Himself in us. The Father will see His own Son, Christ, being developed in us through these tough times. So, again, the Bible says in James, chapter 1, verse 2, I'm going to read that down to 8, and then I'm going to jump down to 12. Okay, consider it pure joy, my brothers, sisters, kids, right? Whoever. Whenever you face trials of many times, when you face those tough times in your life, consider it pure joy, he says, because you know that the testing of your faith develops perseverance. Your faith is being tested. Okay, do you trust God or don't you? Are you praying to Him? Are you seeking Him? That should automatically, you become a magnet like on steel. You just draw closer to your Father. It's exactly what I'm doing. You know, he talks about, we'll read what he's talking about. Okay, and it'll develop perseverance. You'll become like a marathon runner. He keeps running and running and running. Before you know it, he can just run longer. He's developing perseverance. That's the same with our Christian walk as we go through tough times. Verse 4. Perseverance must finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. So notice the perseverance must finish its work so you can be mature and complete, not lacking anything. And it's like it's a necessity, God's saying. Okay, these testings of our faith, the trials, the tough times, the testing of our faith is so perseverance may have its perfect work. You'll be complete and mature. He wants you to grow up as a Christian. Okay? Sometimes it takes a trial like that to become a Christian. That's what happened for me and probably millions of others. If you're going through tough times, you may want to turn to Jesus. Call on His name. Anyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. Saved even from their situation sometimes, and at least spiritually. You'll be free on the inside. His peace to be working mightily in you. Verse 5, if any of you lacks wisdom, he should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to him. So that's what you want to do when you're going through tough times. You want to pray, God, what are you trying to show me right now? I want to learn this thing as quick as possible. You know, you're trying to get out of that trial, right? You know, but, you know, He wants perseverance to have its perfect work so you be complete and mature, lacking nothing. You know, it's like, I'd like to learn it quick. So you ask for wisdom. But when you ask for wisdom, believe and not doubt, because he who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. Okay, so you don't want to be doubting, or you'll be like that wave that's getting tossed around, but I mean, you're getting knocked around in life. That's what he's saying. If you're doubting when you ask for that wisdom, ask God, and He'll give it to you. You're His child. Another part of the Bible, He talks about if your son asks for a fish, you're not going to give him a stone. You know, if he wants something to eat, you're not going to like blow him off. How much more your Father in heaven's going to give you? You know. So if you're ask for wisdom, and He'll give you wisdom and insight. Wisdom, just knowledge of and insight to your situation or to whatever you're going through. Verse 7, that man, the doubtful man, should not think that he will receive anything from the Lord. He is a double-minded man, unstable in all he does. So don't be doubting the Lord. You'll be unstable in all you do. Okay? I'm going to jump down to verse 12. So blessed is the man who perseveres under trial. Blessed is the man who comes emerging from the trial through the tough times. Because when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life that God has promised to those who love Him. But you'll not only gain victory and become mature and complete in this life, you'll get the crown of life at the end of life. Okay, that's an awesome thing. That's an awesome thing. Treasure in heaven, he talks about, storing up treasure up there. In the meanwhile, seek those things which are above. Colossians 3:1. Seek those things that which are above, where Christ sits at the right hand of the Father. Seek the Lord, okay, while he may be found, he says. Pray for wisdom. Draw close to him through these tough times. And he's just an awesome God. It's good to know him, to be in relationship with him. And through the tough times, you got an incredible God you can go to. I don't care if it's troubles in your marriage, finances, work, whatever. Just get with Jesus. He's good.